I was reflecting on the study from yesterday, Matthew 18, speaking about forgiveness. It's one thing to speak it, it's a whole different thing to actually live it, to apply it. I was considering how this applies to us in North America. Even reflecting on the various nations that live around us and our interaction, our experience with them. Is there any room for retribution in forgiveness? I mean, we've already determined that if justice were served, none of us would be left standing. But is there any room for a reaction? And if we don't react, doesn't that leave us vulnerable? Doesn't that leave us open to more attack? Well, didn't Jesus, by choice, make himself vulnerable to the very people that were created through him? And why? For their forgiveness, for their salvation. Isn't that our motivation? That we would live in a radical way, in a radically different way than the rest of the world, so that some might be saved, and for our own salvation? Will God the Father forgive us if we don't? Well, may God have mercy on us. I'm going to stop there because this teaching is, when applied properly, seems far too difficult to bear. But isn't that the Jesus way? Isn't that precisely what Jesus always did and continues to do? That he pricks each one of our hearts uniquely. He finds the compartments that we have not given over to him, that are not his. And in Matthew chapter 19, for your Ride4Rufiji Moment, number 46, we're looking at the rich young ruler. He comes to Jesus and he says, "What good teacher, what do I still lack? I've followed all the commandments," which in one respect is very interesting because he seems to intuitively understand that even though he has followed the law, he still lacks something. And for those that are following a works-based religion, well, the rich young ruler at least had a feeling that that was not enough. And so he went to Jesus and said, "What still do I lack?" And Jesus, knowing the man's heart, knowing that he was a rich young ruler, said, "Take everything you have, sell it, all your possessions, and give the proceeds to the poor. Then come and follow me." And the rich young man, he went away sad because he had great wealth. This is something that he was unable to do. That ultimately he decided not to follow Jesus. But it seems like a bit of a contradiction. That statement in the Bible, the rich young ruler went away sad because he realized he had great wealth. The statement seems like a contradiction. Shouldn't it be, he went away sad because he realized he was poor? Or he went away joyful and full of great happiness because he realized, hey, I don't need Jesus. I have great wealth. The statement seems like a contradiction. He went away sad because he had great wealth. Clearly, the very thing that he was unwilling to let go of did not bring him satisfaction. Yet, even in his sad state, he still was not willing to let it go. And this disturbs the disciples greatly. They say, "Jesus, why did you let this man go? I mean, he's a good man, far better than we are. I mean, this man, he's followed the law since he was a youth. We're fishermen, some of us. We've lived an interesting lifestyle. We swear, we cheat. We are far from perfect. This man that you just let go is probably a much better man than we are. A much, by human standards, by your good outweighing your bad, he is much more good than we do. And he can't be saved? Who then can be saved? Surely not us. And Jesus said to his disciples, you're correct. Salvation is impossible. But then he said, however, with God, all things are possible. Which gets us back to our study yesterday and pulls this topic of forgiveness together. That salvation is impossible. This rich young ruler, he was not good enough. No man is good enough. Only the grace of God is sufficient. Salvation is impossible, but through God, all things are possible. Salvation is not possible, but through Jesus Christ. All men have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. But Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And no man comes to the Father except through me. This has been your Ride4Rufiji Moment number 46.